I think it's like, a place where I've really was able to like come into myself as far as like, gender identity and expression, and just being like a comfortable place to exist around other people and form relationships and friendships.
And we love playing shows like this because a lot of times you have venues that are 21 plus or 18 plus, and or the venue fee is like $12 to get in. Everyone's like, I'm not going to that. But you just come to this basement show and we're playing. And we can do whatever we want. Anybody could drink and anybody could have a good time. That's what we're about.
I definitely think that like the scene I currently participate in is definitely more free and strange and wonderful than anything that you could do in the mainstream.
So there are different levels of touring, and weekenders are like the acceptable thing. If you've got a full-time, part-time job, going to school, whatever you're doing, your daily grind, weekenders are the acceptable thing to do. Now, there are a bunch of different DIY communities all around the United States. There's some small line of like continuity between them, but it is very little. So booking out of state is a whole new ball game.
It's definitely different from playing, in your own state, let alone your own town, because there's a whole other rack of challenges that you have to go through, like transportation, money, because you don't want to get stranded anywhere, and you don't even know where you're gonna sleep.
No one ever gets paid very much. Like I every show on tour I got paid $25, and that was, felt like a lot to me. But I used around 700 miles I drove, so it was kind of like barely even covered the gas to go to all those shows and to eat every night.
It's just scary going out and experiencing new things. However, when you have one successful weekender, it shows that there's a whole nother world past your own local scene. It's there's people who take the risk on you for coming because they don't know who you are. They just kind of talked to you for 5 minutes and said, yeah, you can come play a show. You don't know what to expect. But when you meet those people and they're as cool as they are, it's once again, it creates memories that'll probably last forever. I know I made a few friends, Star Wars friends, and I still talk to them after so many months. It's all right.
What's key is getting your music out there and producing as much music as possible, and just getting it out there, because no matter what, you need that's what's gonna, even if you do want to get signed or whatever, which is pretty rare now, but let's say you do want to get signed, you want to be able to bring something to the table. Okay. You want to be able to say, okay, I have this many people following me, I can draw this amount of people, I can sell tickets in these markets.
Right.
You want to be able to build that up. So no matter what, whether that was 20, that hasn't changed. I just think that's even more important now. Like you can't, like it used to be when I was coming up, a lot of people were like, oh, I'm just doing these showcases trying to get signed. We didn't do that. We just went out and toured and started drawing people and started getting a name happening, and then we did get signed as a result.
Right.
And I think that can happen now too, but almost you don't really need them anymore. There's so much good and bad to it, but what I would say is content is really important. If you hone your craft and you can sing and you can play and you can produce, if you document that, whether it's just beyond just putting the recording out, like absolutely put the recording out, whether it's SoundCloud, Spotify, however you want to do it.
Right.
But if you can document yourself performing that music and yourself creating that music, put that out there and connect with your fans that way, that's going to set you apart.
Right.
And I think it's about putting your personality into it, because people are going to gravitate towards the music that has personality. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At least that's what the music I grab. Like I enjoy watching like people perform stuff.
Yeah, I do
and,
too.
Like, seeing it come together. I've always that's the cool thing about now versus when I was a kid. Like imagine if we could have seen like Stevie Wonder making Intervisions in front of us. Like, that would have been like now that's possible.
Yeah.
Like that now people go online, they Facebook Live, and there's cool stuff to that. I think the one thing is there's just so much when I open up my Facebook or my computer, how to find the right thing is hard because it's just flooded.
Right.
So it's all about like setting yourself apart and really finding your unique voice.